Hello, everybody, and welcome to Barbagallo pre-qualifying. This is the first pre-qualifying session that we have done, and Tristan Vautier is the first car out. Tristan Vautier was the first car out in pre-qualifying. Remember, the top 6 drivers overall get onto the grid, and Vautier currently is the only car out there. However, it wouldn't be long in the 10-minute pre-qualifying session for the other drivers to come out here. This is Vautier again. In front of him, we have Nick Cassidy in the Virgin car. We have the arrows of Nicholas Latifi, Rio Haryanto in the Panthera, Pastor Maldonado, Nikita Mazepin, Philippe Drugovich, Stoffel Vandoorne, his teammate Ahmed Alharthi, and Jack Doohan. I'm expecting Alharthi to be probably the fastest of the bunch because he has clear track in front of him. Delita's there. But the first car across will be Vautier. Vautier was in heavy traffic during this session, and he would end up going, I believe, 4th fastest there. Vandoorne, his teammate, was the quickest at this point in the session with just under 6 minutes to go in the session. However, the big surprise in pre-qualifying early on was that Rio Haryanto in the Panthera was down in 8th position, and kind of the big surprise of who was in at this point was actually, at this point, Alessio Delita. Delita is in right now. I'm kind of surprised at that with how low on power the Arrows is, and just how overall bad the Waukesha team is, even though that they are owned by an Australian guy. He's still in. But actually, he is right now faster than a lot of drivers that really I don't think he should be. Namely, I'm looking at Maldonado up there. Maldonado, probably the most substantial name that still has to qualify in, with 4 minutes 45 to go. Philippe Drugovich is right now in as well. He, so far, would be running pretty well with about 4 minutes to go. And there's Nick Cassidy as the big one that's out for Virgin. He is kind of the big kind of surprise here. He's got to get a good run. We know that car is really a high-power car, but not really a car that is going to be good on some of these slower tracks the Virgin isn't. And that's probably why Delita is... Oh, Delita just got bumped out, I believe, by Doohan in the Minardi now. So we've got Australian Jack Doohan in a Minardi in the top 5. We were expecting it to be the Stefan cars, Stefan GPs, Minardis, and Arrows down in the bottom. We were not expecting it at this stage a Minardi to be in, and he is right now in by quite a little bit of a margin here, as Alharthi is really rocking it here. I'm surprised that Rio Haryanto, with only 3 minutes 35 to go, is on the bubble. Maldonado is coming in for a new fresh set of tires. He's got to get out there quick, though, if he is going to make a run at the pole. There's only a 54-second lap time here on the Wanneroo Raceway. But it's going to be interesting to see if he makes it back out. And interestingly enough, Haryanto's gotten himself off the bubble and put Doohan on the bubble. But this would be a miracle to see the Australian-owned Paul Stoddard Minardi team make the grid on their own accord for their first race. We were not expecting that. There's Delita, another Australian-owned team by the Waukesha family. Or actually, they're British, but they have a lot of connections here in Australia. There's Vautier there. He's comfortably in, it looks like. And, oh, Mazepin jumps to 8th. Not high enough, though, for Nikita Mazepin. Drugovich is in there, and Maldonado, they really got to get that car tuned up to get a really quick run here right at the end, as Alharthi looks very quick. So with only 2 minutes to go in the session, Delita, Mazepin, Maldonado, Cassidy, Nissany, and Latifi are all looking to possibly go home right now. However, there's still 2 minutes left in this session for pre-qualifying. This could be major for them. And Jack Doohan might shock the world and get on the grid for his first GP1, for the first ever GP1 race, when I don't think anybody really expected him to. And Maldonado, is he out yet? No, he is not. Oh, he's got to go now. If he's going to make any pre-qualifying run, he's got to get out there now. Was there an issue with that car? No, there wasn't. He's got to get out there pretty quick if he's going to set any lap there. I mean, it's about a minute to get around from the pit road. He's got to leave in the next 10 seconds, really. Here comes Ahmed El-Harthi, the fastest car in pre-qualifying, and I don't think Maldonado's going to get a shot here. I really don't. 55 seconds. He's not going to get a chance. Oh, he's going to go with 53. He might get a shot. He's got to get around in 50 seconds. I just don't see it. I don't see him being able to do so. Oh, and it looks like Drugovich has blown up an engine. You remember, I think we only get 3 engines a year, so Drugovich already blowing a motor. That's not what you want to do this early in the session, or in the year, is use one of your 3 engine charters. If you use them all, that's an automatic rear of the grid start, provided you qualify. Drugovich is in, but here we come. Will Maldonado make it around? He's got 7 seconds to get around this track, and I don't think he's going to do it. I really don't. I think Jack Doohan just pulled off a miracle. I just think he pulled off a miracle. Because I don't think he's going to be able to get back in 46 seconds. You get 46 seconds to finish your lap, and I don't think he's going to do it. I think Doohan's going to be the last car to set a time. Mazepin is out looking in. No improvement by Mazepin. Mazepin will not race today. Van Dorn is already in. No need to worry about him. El-Harthi's already in. The last car we're watching is Jack Doohan. I think everybody that has made it on the grid is done. There's no one else that's going to bump Jack Doohan. The Minardi will start. He will start this race. Congrats to Jack Doohan. Live from Wanneroo Raceway here in Western Australia, we have the GP1 Series Opener. 67 laps around this 1.5-mile road course here in Western Australia, just outside of Perth. We got a great race, I think, coming to you today. A historic one. 26 drivers. That would be 26 different cars out there led by teams that had all been jilted in some way by Formula One. This is a rival series to Formula One, and there's a lot of buzz about it. It's much more open. The fans are having a great time here. It's a little more affordable for people. This is what everybody wants to see. But to get to 26 cars, we had to eliminate a number of them. 6 to be precise. There are 32 that attempted, and there are only this many cars left. There are only 26 that make the grid. Let's see how we got to the 26 cars. And that is how we got these 6 cars to take part, or to the remaining 6 cars on the grid was through pre-qualifying. We're going to show kind of a highlight of that every weekend when we get going here. Should be a really interesting show going forward. With that being said, I think it's time to look at the starting grid, so let's take a look at that. Ryo Hirakawa, and it's an all Toyota front row with Kamui Kobayashi and Ryo Hirakawa on the front row. In the second row, we have Jenson Button and Kimi Räikkönen, 2 former Formula One drivers. They will be drivers to watch. Obviously, Toyota is one of the favorites to be champion this year, one of the Toyota drivers. I think Kobayashi is listed as the favorite, I've noticed, to be the first ever GP1 champion. However, Button and Räikkönen could be very strong. I'm actually kind of surprised to see Button up here because Hawksworth, his teammate, was nowhere near him. Ryan Briscoe, driving car 12, and alongside of him we have Colton Herta right there as well. So great to see Herta, and the Herta this high up the grid, great American hero there. Jack Aitken alongside of Marcus Armstrong. Aitken was, I think, rumored for some F1 drives, but kind of got passed over due to money. And Marcus Armstrong, another one that kind of got passed over due to money in the Honda. The second Honda on the grid, because we've got Australian Ryan Briscoe up there as well. Going to be interesting to see that. It's an all Prost row here with Jean-Eric Vernon, Charles Pic right there. Prost with the Peugeot engines should be interesting, and Philippe Nasr quite a ways back from Raikkonen, the teammate. Really strong qualifying run for Jehan Daruvala. Great to see him that far up the grid, and gotta give credit to Stoffel Vandoorne. Through pre-qualifying, somehow gets this high up the grid in the Lotus car. I'm very happy to see Lotus that high up the grid in the Geely engine car. Jack Hawksworth, on the other hand, compared to where his teammates starting, you don't really want to be this far back. BMW did not have a good qualifying run here. BMW is expected to be a championship contender, and they're all the way down the grid here. What you have to keep in mind, though, is this track doesn't really suit the BMW. The BMW is the fastest car in the straight line. This track, if you notice from pre-qualifying, isn't exactly the fastest one that we're going to go to this year, especially when you compare to tracks like Hockenheim and the next race at Pukekohe. So I would not expect the BMWs to be that strong today. With that, Sheldon van der Linde, Rio Haryanto actually beat Ahmad Al-Harthi on the grid. I'm actually kind of surprised at that. Tristan Vautier from pre-qualifying also on the grid as well with Rio Haryanto. I'm sorry, with whoa, where am I going? Tristan Vautier, alongside him is Brendan Hartley. Hartley, through all of pre-qualifying, has been a lot faster than Colton Herta until it came to qualifying this week. Through all of practice this week, Hartley's been faster, the New Zealander. I'm kind of surprised that he is this far down the order. He had a pretty bad qualifying lap. Connor Daly's kind of been lost all year so far in the Jordan. And alongside of him, we have the other BMW, that being Timo Glock. Glock is expected to be a lot higher up the order than that. I'm shocked he's that far down. Mick Schumacher in the Stefan GP car. His teammate Lucas di Grassi is, for some reason, not on the grid. Uh-oh. That's not good. Who is on the grid that's not supposed to be on the grid? With that being said, that is how we got the 26 cars on the grid today. Now it is time to look at the starting grid, the actual starting grid for the first ever GP1 race. It was set through a 10-minute knockout session, which kind of gave us a more mixed up order than we thought based on pre-qualifying. We expected kind of the Hondas and the Toyotas to be up there, but we didn't really get that today. Well, some of it we did. Let's take a look at the starting grid. Starting from pole, we have Ryan Briscoe. Ryan Briscoe is an Australian native. He's really popular here in Perth right now. A lot of fans for him, seeing him get the pole. Alongside him, we have Charles Pic in the Prost Peugeot. Really surprised to see him that high up the grid, Pic. Again, second place, very impressive for that team. The second row is an all-Toyota row with Ryo Hirakawa and Kamui Kobayashi. Kobayashi is the odds-on favorite to be champion this year. The Toyota looks to be the most balanced car on the grid, along with the Hondas. It would not shock me if Kobayashi and Hirakawa are major championship contenders this season. The two Japanese drivers for that team. Next on the grid, we have Marcus Armstrong, a very young hotshot New Zealander. And alongside of him, we have Jenson Button. Button is fast. I think he's kind of punching above his weight with that car, with the Jaguar. But he's an F1 champion, a former F1 champion, so it's great to see him on the grid. Timo Glock in the BMW. BMW is expected to be a championship contending team. However, this isn't a track that we expected them to be terribly strong at. This track requires a lot. Their car is a very high-speed car, and this track isn't a very high-speed track if you look at pre-qualifying. This is one of the slowest natural road courses we go to. It's obviously not a street circuit or anything like that, but it is one of the slower ones. Alongside of him, we have Jack Aitken. Aitken has through preseason testing has been way faster than his team leader, Connor Daly. Connor Daly has come in here with a lot of IndyCar prowess and really hasn't performed where I think he needs to be, and he's looked kind of lost, but Aitken has been quite strong in the Jordan. Next row, we have Kimi Räikkönen. And alongside of him, we have Stoffel Van Dorn. Gotta give Van Dorn credit. Going from pre-qualifying to starting this high up the grid. Stoffel Van Dorn, expect him to be strong. Raikkonen on the other end, another F1, former F1 champion. I would really expect Kimi Raikkonen to be something of a force this week and throughout the championship, because we know those Saubers are quite fast. Just they don't, from preseason testing, they don't look like they like to hold together. Behind Raikkonen, we have his teammate Philippe Nasr, and alongside of Philippe Nasr, we have Jean-Eric Vergne. Nasr was actually kind of faster than Raikkonen in preseason testing. Nasr is no slouch himself. For another former Formula One driver, didn't have a lot of success in Formula One. And alongside of him, Jean-Eric Vergne, another former Formula One driver. Again, I think Pique was punching way above his weight in that Peugeot, in that Prost Peugeot. But don't discount Jean-Eric Vergne just yet. Behind them, we have both the Panthera team. This is Ahmad El-Harthi, the Omani driver, and Rio Herianto behind him, or alongside of him. Both drivers are going to be something to watch, I think, today as they kind of claw through the field. Remember, to get out of pre-qualifying, you got to score points. And they're a team that has to score points to get out of pre-qualifying, so a top 10 needs to be on their cards. Jehan Daruvala, and alongside of him, you have Tristan Vautier. Daruvala for Force India. I really think that I was surprised when I saw that they got out of pre-qualifying. That one kind of surprised me. And Vautier is trying to get out of pre-qualifying. Behind Vautier, we have Sheldon van der Linde in the BMW. Van der Linde did not look very strong in practice and qualifying, although the BMW in general didn't. And behind him, or alongside of him, you have the driver of the Jordan, Connor Daly. And we've talked about how Daly has looked out of his depth all year in that car. Again, hopefully he picks up as the season goes on. Now we've got one of the biggest disappointments of the year so far, of this weekend, is the first of the Andretti cars. The Andretti cars were expected to be a top 10 car, a consistent points challenger, and they're starting this far down the order. This is Colton Herta here. Herta's actually been quite well, has been outperformed by his teammate, but Herta kind of running there down this far. That's not good. And then we have Lucas deGrassi in the Castian car alongside. A little further back, we have Jack Hawksworth compared to Jenson Button. That's not a great start spot. And then we have Kushmiani alongside the Indian driver for Force India. A little further back, we have Filip Drugovich, who blew an engine, who already has used one of his 3 engine allotments this year. Already, before we're even starting the first race. I'd be very concerned if I was the Virgin team, because then for every engine replacement after that, he has to start last on the grid if he so qualifies. And then alongside, you have Brendan Hartley. Brendan Hartley in the other Andretti car. I'm sure Andretti thought more of this, wanted more from this. And then on the last row, we have Mick Schumacher and Jack Doohan. Mick Schumacher, I believe, spun out in qualifying, and that's why he's back there. And then Jack Doohan, they didn't even set a time. They're just shocked that they even made the grid. They didn't even set a time. So Schumacher spun out and then came across, didn't set a lap, and Doohan, got to give him credit. He made the race. Nobody expected that from Jack Doohan. With that being said, it's time to start the first ever GP1 race. Who's your picks? Mention it in the comments. Let's get racing. So the field of 26 now rolls down. And remember, Briscoe is on the outside of the first turn, you'll see. However, and he is the pole sitter. However, Pique actually has a bit of an advantage here. I'm not sure why they start them on the outside there, but here we go. 26 drivers and teams will 26 drivers will duke it out here for the GP1 season opener. It's a slow start here. Very slow start, but a green flag is out. Briscoe gets a great start there, but so does Pique. I think Pique's actually going to come out of this maybe with the lead. And I believe so. Peak is going to get this here. Charles Peak. Maybe not so easy, but Peak leads over Kamui Kobayashi and Briscoe running P3 now. Peak at the top of the hill has a big lead at this stage. However, the faster cars of Toyota and Honda are further back, but the Prost is leading the race there. It's a clean start from everybody through the field. And here goes Briscoe now, trying to get second back on the driver Kamui Kobayashi. Ryo Hirakawa behind him in fourth, and we've got the Jaguar of Jensen Button back in fifth place. Ooh, here we go. We've got Timo Glock going to the inside of Van Dorn for sixth at the end of the first lap of 67. It is Peak, Kobayashi, and Briscoe as your top three. Like I said in the starting grid, I'm expecting the BMWs to be championship contenders. However, they will be fast on the high-speed tracks. And as you can see, this is one of the slower permanent road courses we go to here, the Wanneroo Raceway is. And this is going to be a struggle for them. Oh, looks like one of the Lotus cars nearly went off the road. That's Vautier there, as he's getting passed by Connor Daly, who has kind of rocketed through the field since the start. I believe he started in around 20th, so he is all the way up to 14th right now, flying through the order. This could be a career day for Jack Doohan if this turns into a high attrition race. Doohan, Minardi is going to struggle to make races this year, I think. And this could be a big opportunity for that team to make this race, to make races if they get points. Ooh, almost contact further up the track there with one of the BMWs. That would have been Van der Linde again, with maybe Mayani there. And further back, Hawksworth is also in that, but this could be a big day for them. Also, the two Andretti cars not doing well. That's Herta and Hartley back there. As you're going to see this field start getting spread out there as, oh, here goes Van der Linde on who's that, El Harthy back there. Got to be real, got to start making your moves pretty consistently throughout this weekend, throughout this race, because this is going to be one of the longer ones at 67 laps. By the start of lap 6, we have Peak in the lead. This is going through the points, so Peak is in the lead. Second place is Kobayashi. Third place is Briscoe. Fourth place is Hirakawa. Fifth place is Button. Sixth place is Marcus Armstrong. We got a battle for seventh between Aitken and Glock. Ninth is Van Dorn. And 10th is Herianto. Raikkonen, one of the fastest cars in preseason testing, is all the way down in 16th position. You've got to be real careful if you're Raikkonen, because he's going to be a championship contender. That Sauber team will be. And I would expect them to be further up the order than that. Marcus Armstrong is becoming one of the fastest cars on track from P6, the New Zealand native, looking to do really strong things here at the Wanneroo Raceway, as he is closing in on Jensen Button in front of him. That's going to be a battle, I think, that we're going to have to watch as we get going here. No sign of a safety car as of yet, and there's not really a lot of close battling. A little further back there, as I think I see the Saubers starting to get into it with some people. I believe that is with Jean-Eric Verne. The Saubers are, so that's going to be the area. Back here is going to be the area to watch as we get going further into this event, is to see where the log jams start, because as you can already see, we're 8 laps in, and Doohan's already 21 seconds down on the leader, and keep in mind, this is a pretty quick lap. This is only about a 50-second lap, so a little over 50 seconds, so got to keep that in mind as we get going here. However, Jack Hawksworth would be the first car out of the race here on lap 8. They wouldn't throw a safety car because this was so far off the track. Nobody expected anything major there, so nobody was getting near it, but he would go way off the track and out of the race. And the officials did take a look at this incident here and determined that it was not the fault of the Force India there, and decided that it wouldn't be a big issue, but he would get it stuck out there, so tough break for Hawksworth. Kamui Kobayashi now would now get right on the rear wing here of Charles Peak. He is quite a bit faster than Peak right now, even though Peak has the fastest lap in the race, but it seems like Kobayashi's done a much better job holding the tires than Peak has. So now it's going to be a battle between Peak and Kobayashi. Can we see Kobayashi make a move here quickly on Charles Peak in the Prost? I'm going to be interested to see if that's going to happen or not. And it looks like now the top four is all going to get log jammed behind Peak here, as Peak seems to be the slowest of the top four. Kobayashi, Briscoe, and Hirakawa are all closing in right now on Peak at the front of the field. And again, this is something that we're going to have to watch, because once traffic starts up on this track, it can be a problem, and you're going to kind of run into that, I think, pretty quick, it looks like, because they are catching Doohan pretty quickly. They are also starting to get a logjam here behind Lucas deGrassi. That's Ahmed Alharthi, who has lost a number of spots from where he started in Kushmiani. They're all starting to get in a big logjam here behind deGrassi, and you don't want to do that too often here, because you will get past. Oh gosh, the Andretti's are really doing bad in 21st and 22nd. I would have thought the Andretti cars would have been a lot stronger than that today. I'm wondering if Charles Peak is going to try and make this on a fuel run here, because roughly we're expecting this to be about 32 laps on a fuel run. Race is 67, so if you multiply that by 2, that only gets you to 64. So if you're trying to save fuel, this might be a good time to try that, because you might be able to make it on one stop rather than 2. However, I don't know what the tire wear would look like either, but you might be able to really save some time there if you are lucky enough to do so. We are on board with Ryan Briscoe. Let's take a lap around the Wanneroo Raceway with him. And that is one lap around the Wanneroo Raceway here. Briscoe is one of the fastest cars that we have on this track right now. And although it looks like Hirakawa is really closing on him, as the entire pack just really, they just don't have a lot of places to go, because Peak is kind of holding a lot of group up here, and the pack isn't really separating that much right now. But it is hard to make a move, because there is a very distinct line around this track, and there's not a ton of passing opportunities. I will say this, the Andretti team does not look as fast as we would have thought they would be. Colton Herta down in 21st and 22nd from Brendan Hartley. Again, I would have expected a lot more from this team than 21st and 22nd. Herta's lost a number of spots since the start of the race, and Hartley didn't qualify well in the first place, so their preseason testing speed was actually quite quick. And especially if there's a team like, we got our first pit stop. This is Haryanto from 10th coming in. Panthera was a team that, looks like there was a little bit of fracas going on there between the Force India and the Pastian car. But they were a team that was not locked in. Neither is the Caterham team. And if they get in, then things are going to get really interesting, because then we're going to start dropping people down the order then. And that was a scheduled stop for Haryanto. And Haryanto still even beats out Doohan, so I'm interested to see, will the pit lane open up even more this time? I don't think so. I think this is still a bit early. Yeah, this is a bit early still. Let's take a look at this for a little bit here. I don't see anybody coming in, even though we already saw that. Man, that Pastian and Miani there, I think that's Schumacher there. They are really duking it out. Or that's not Schumacher, that's DeGrassi there. And they are really duking it out there as here comes, wow, here comes Harrianto. Harrianto is fast right now. Here comes Charles Peak in to the pits. Peak is in, and it looks like here comes Hirakawa as well. Oh, Hirakawa hits the pit wall there. Yeah, this is a tight pit road entrance. You got to be real careful entering it. And Hirakawa paid the price, and I think they're going to have to do some suspension work. Luckily, he's in the pits. But you got to be oh so careful not to get into an incident entering pit road there. Mayani's coming in as well. Looks like one of the Andretti's in likewise. So now we've got Charles Peak on pit road. And Peak's already back out again. Although, did Hirakawa beat him out? No, they parked him. Hirakawa's out of the race from that. Oh, that's major suspension damage from Ryo Hirakawa. Here comes Button in from third. Obviously, this is third on, what is it? On strategy, but rookie mistake by Ryo Hirakawa running into that pit wall down there. Don't want to do that. Here comes Drugovich into the pits now. Good to see him get on the pits very easily. The only Virgin car to make the grid by the Richard Branson-owned team. Doohan now is battling with Vautier, who's already pitted, but I think Doohan's trying to come down pit road as well here. As that's, again, that just shows how narrow that pit road entrance is. Here comes race leader Kamui Kobayashi, and looks like Briscoe's going to take the lead now. And again, this is where the battle's going to be live. Where is the driver Charles Peak? Peak is just now getting on the backstretch. And we will see where Kobayashi is, as he is now really coming up fast on this 98 car. And that's going to hurt him, I think. Oh, no, that's the Minardi coming out. Where is Hirakawa? Or where's here? Oh, there he is. Here comes Kobayashi out. And there's Jensen Button. Button had a really quick pit stop there. Button had a really quick pit stop. And now all eyes are turning to Ryan Briscoe to see if he can get through the lap traffic very quickly here. Looks like he's coming in this time, along with teammate Marcus Armstrong and Glock in third. And here comes the Sauber, Raikkonen in. Basically everybody else is coming in now. So now the battle's going to heat up between Peak and Briscoe. Uh-oh. I heard some crash back there. I heard some contact. Is that Van der Linde going in? Hold on a sec there. What Van der Linde? Oh, crash on track! That's some big rear end damage from Colton Herta and Kush Mayani. And that could be terminal for both of them. And that would be out of the race for both those two drivers as we're looking there. There goes Peak by. Peak had a really quick stop there. And you're going to see how slow the Honda Brigade is. They're going to come out behind a number of drivers here. Slow stop by Honda. There's Kobayashi. There's Button. Harrianto up to 5th. Early pit stop seems to really be beneficial for these people. So Charles Peak is leading with Ryo Harrianto in the Panthera running second. I'm surprised at that. Button is currently stuck behind the lap car of Doohan, with Kobayashi currently running in 4th here. 5th place is Briscoe. 6th place is Van Dorn, another driver who is currently in pre-qualifying. 7th to 8th in. 8th is Timo Glock. 9th is Armstrong, and 10th is Nasser. Vautier, Verne, Daly, Raikkonen, Daruvula, Van der Linde, Hartley, and the only remaining Andretti car, Drugovich, DeGrassi, El Harthy, are all still running out there, and then 21st is Jack Doohan. However, we would get our first safety car of the day as Mick Schumacher would mess close up the pit road entrance and block it here by entering pit road and driving it into the fence there. He was the last of the pitters, and that would bring out the safety car. There goes Jack Duhan getting his lap back. All lap cars get one lap back after the safety car here into the corner. And here, let's take a look here. Speed car is 10 is second. Arianto, third is Butt, fourth is Kobayashi, fifth is Briscoe, sixth is Van Dorn. And, oh, here comes some pit stop changes here. And again, this could really, really affect pit strategy now, as here comes a number of drivers down pit road, a lot of fast cars. I think this could be a real risky move, getting yourself back in the pack here. As, again, uh-oh, what happened here? Looks like we got problems with Sheldon van der Linde. Is he trying to pit or what? I don't know, but that was weird. Looks like the car died and he got it rerunning again. Gotta be careful there. Oh, wow, Harianto beat Peak out of the pits. Peak's having a slow stop. So as we come to the green, it looks like Kobayashi is going to be, oh, looks like we got some problems with her back. No, maybe not. Kobayashi will lead the field to the green here. Maybe Hartley's trying to pit there. Not sure what's going on, but Kobayashi leads over Ryan Briscoe, Emo Clock, etc. Oh, a bunch of other cars are starting to pit now. A couple of them are. 3 cars pitting. Green flag is out. Oh, Briscoe did not get going there. Clock did. Like Clock up the inside of Briscoe in the BMW and Honda doing battle there. Remember, the cars further back have fresher tires, like Charles Peak, etc. They're going to be flying through the order now as Kobayashi now has a big lead over Timo Glock, Ryan Briscoe, and Marcus Armstrong. Nasser in 5th, Moji or Byrne in 6th, Riken in 7th, 8th Degrassi, 9th Arianto, and 10th is Jensen Button. But look at the lead Kobayashi's already opened up. Jahan Daruvala now will be the next thing from the pit road entrance. He would hit it but be able to drive it away, however, he would retire immediately afterwards. So tough break here for Jahan Daruvala. I've got to wonder if the cars that pitted early, that being Arianto, etc. Arianto's all the way up to 9th already. I gotta wonder if they're gonna try and make it to the end on this fuel run. I don't necessarily know if that's gonna be possible, but it wouldn't shock me if they're gonna try it. Especially that other that pitted very later, a lot laps later under yellow. That being Drugovich, Hartley, and Van der Linde. I could see them making a late run and trying to save as much fuel as they can to maybe make it to the end. These other guys are going to have to pick. Sort of a log jam here behind Degrassi. That's Degrassi, Aitken, Van Dorn, Daly, Al Harthy, and Rotier all there. Charles Peak is up to 10th, though. Remember, Arianto, is pitting again. I'm not surprised at this position, but wonder if Peak can too. I wonder why he's pitting. He pitted under the yellow. Under the safety car, that is. Oh, somebody else. Is that Hirakawa or is that Kobayashi? That's Kobayashi in as well, so... Okay, short pitting. Block is in the lead now. Alright, we'll see if any of these guys are going to... It looks like Block and Briscoe are. Armstrong staying out to lead a lap. And here comes basically everybody for their second stop. They're realizing that short pitting to work. They don't want to be caught out too much. Here comes DeGrassi in as well. Teammate caught the pit wall earlier. And we're waiting on Clock versus Briscoe. Briscoe had a really slow stop the first time around. Is he going to do that again? In his home race, it looks like it. That's a slow stop. Is that Raikkonen? Oh no, that's Nasser coming out of the pit there. Bird as well, so here we go. Race leader is car 11 of Armstrong now. And here he comes into the pit. Button in second, and Charles Peak is all the way up to third. That's just looking like a really bad kickball there by them, but if they go to the end, then maybe it won't be. Here comes Armstrong down pit road. Aiken is in. Vanderlinde is in. Here comes Hartley, and he was... Oh, Hartley hits it! Hartley's going to be out of the race. That's Bolton Andretti's out. And that's not going to be good for Andretti. Here comes the Saubers. Oh, he hits the wall, too! And that's going to be a safety car. That is not good there for the team there. That's a safety car, and this is going to really mess up the order now. Oh, looks like we got problems with somebody. That's Charles Peak with issues now, maybe. 27 cars got engine damage. That's DeGrassi. Where did he have engine damage? He blew up somewhere. Oh, he stopped on the track at the same time. So now the big question is, where is everyone going to come out of this? Button is leading. He hasn't pitted yet, though. Some of the cars that have pitted are going to be in really good shape. Haley is still out there. That's Van Ogier, Alfarthi. The 3-car of Briscoe. Oh, that's a Peak. Peak just fell out. I don't know what. Oh, yeah, his car was. Yeah, he was the really slow one out there. I'm not sure what happened to his car. Charles Peak is out of the race now. And Jensen Button, the former Formula 1 champion, is leading this race. So now, who's going to pit this time and who won't? Here comes Button in. And remember, these guys are going to have fresh tires. Oh, no. Are we going to have a Minardi leading this? Oh my goodness, a Minardi is going to lead this race. I would have never thought this. Minardi, a car that we didn't even think would pre-qualify, is leading this race right now. I'm in shock. Jack Doohan proving to everybody that he should be in a better car than he is right now. I think it's a lot of luck, but they've played their cards right, strategy, and now they're leading the first ever GP1 race. And with how difficult it has been to pass around this track in the past, this is impressive. He could be on course for a points-paying finish. However, I don't think it's going to last long because Doohan is immediately going to pit. So Kobayashi will lead. Looks like we also have one of the virgins coming in. That's going to be of Drugovich. So Kobayashi leads over Glock, Arianto, Byrne, Armstrong, and Raikkonen. Here we go. Doohan got his lap led. And here we go. Up the hill they go for another attempt. Oh, one of the Lodi getting way out of control there. Daly nearly lost as well. There's Vanderlinde. There are only 16 cars left. He's already lost 10 of them. High attrition race so far. And Kobayashi, the season favorite, is leading with about 15 to go. Big battle here between Briscoe and I believe that's Kimi Räikkönen there. Van der Linde back there as well. Looks like Briscoe just made the move on the outside there, proving that the Honda is one of the fastest cars. It looks like Räikkönen's going to lose another spot to Van der Linde here in the BMW. Maybe not. Maybe not. And here we go for another run down the backstretch. Man, this race is being really entertaining. And Jenson Button had a really slow pit stop. He is outside of the points right now in 14th. Remember, his teammate's out, and actually both the Lotus cars are out of the points as well. However, the one that's really going to benefit from this, I think, is Team Pantera. They're probably going to bump Jordan if they don't... Well, no, Jordan's in the points as well. They're going to bump somebody out at this rate. And it will probably be Force India, because I don't think either of the Force Indias are left in this race. I think Miani's out as well. Yes, Miani and Drugovic or Daruvala, I'm sorry, are out. So it's probably going to be Force India's going to be going into pre-qualifying starting next week at Pukekohe. And now, we don't have long left in this event. Can Glock make a move on Kobayashi? And Glock was all over the back bumper of Kobayashi. They're entering the last corner that time. However, Kobayashi's got so much power coming off the corner there. Kobayashi's got a lot more traction through the center and exit of the corner than Glock does. I can't believe we're seeing a Panthera in third. However, Armstrong is looking quite a bit faster than Arianto there. And I'm surprised that Jean-Eric Bird is up to fifth now. Arianto's really struggling with rear end grip, but still a fantastic showing by the Panthera team. As here comes Armstrong, really close on the brakes now in the Honda. Marcus Armstrong looking incredibly quick here. The New Zealander wants to get on the podium for races next week. And here he comes, he's making a move down the inside. Armstrong, I believe, is one of the fastest cars on the track right now. We go through the order. Yes, Armstrong is the fastest of the top five. He was. I don't know if he is now. He's being held up by Arianto there. And again, Glock is closing on Kobayashi, but there isn't a ton of time left. Front lap 7. Here comes Glock in the slipstream now. Not going to get a move this time, but Glock really closed in on the corner. He's much better on the brakes than Kobayashi is. Two Formula 1 drivers will run the Toyota team, and that's what I'm going to wait for. That BMW is right there now. This could be a real barn for the finish here. However, Kobayashi knows the track is very difficult to pass. However, Glock is there. Timo Glock is right there. Glock makes the move down the inside of Kamui Kobayashi for the lead, with only a handful of laps to go. Glock will lead the lap, but can he hold it on Kobayashi? And it looks like he is going to hold it. No, maybe not. Kobayashi tried to fight back, but no. Glock takes over the lead of the race in the BMW. Armstrong tried to make a move now on Arianto. Not going to make it done. And we got Briscoe now trying to set up third. Armstrong's going to try the same move that Glock did. Is he going to get it, though? Arianto's got more straight line power down there. But Armstrong's staying there. For the last podium spot, Marcus Armstrong on the Panthera. end as well. That is actually going to come button into the point. OTA, oh man, Lotus could have come out of here with some points if they weren't careful. If they were a little bit more careful. That strategy. Another pit, it looks like. But Timo Glock's coming to the final lap here for GP1 Series opener. I don't think Kobayashi's got anything for Glock. We did not expect BMW to be strong on this track at all. We've got a battle there. That is Button on Van der Linde, the other BMW. We expect the BMW to kind of be around 10. As we keep going here, we did not expect BMW on this slow, technical Marmagallo Raceway, or I'm sorry, Wanneroo Raceway. However, we are seeing something that we didn't really expect. The BMW have chassis grips, and they're very strong. Yeah, getting around some of the corners here. And as they go on the backstretch, Timo Glock for the final time comes into the final corner around at this Wanneroo Raceway to win the season opener. You just got to get through this corner, and Glock, is that Glock? Yes, it is. He just won the series opener. Kobayashi second, third goes to Marcus Armstrong. Got to give Haryanto credit. Fourth, congratulations to him. But Timo Glock, this is his day. 25 points for the BMW team. Congrats, Timo Glock. And we will take a look at this now as Timo Glock wins the race. Kamui Kobayashi second, Marcus Armstrong third, Rio Haryanto fourth, Jean-Eric Verne fifth, Ryan Briscoe comes home with sixth for Honda. He was the pole sitter. Kind of surprised he fell back to sixth. Jack Aitken does get Jordan points. That's going to keep them out of pre-qualifying, and that's what's probably going to solidify Force India dropping down because Panthera is going to jump back up outside of the back out of pre-qualifying. So great on them. Aitken is going to solidify. Jordan stays on. Sauber pretty well in 8th place with Raikkonen. 9th to Button if he had gotten Van der Linde right at the end. But I believe it's actually going to be the Honda team that's going to come out of here with the most points. So, with that being said, we'll take a next week's video, or we might do our own separate video for it. So, with that being said, so long, everybody. We'll see you at